Well, today in ethics was a great day. We discussed several things about the purpose of what we're doing in our culture. And what is a culture to you? Your culture of your family, your friends, your school. It's pretty limited at this point because we're not involved in a work community. We're not worked in a career. We're not involved yet in the world. And heck, after talking to you guys, we don't even know what's going on in Portland, Chicago, and Seattle. So what I wanted to do was really get you a little bit more involved in understanding that you're going to have an impact here shortly in this world, and you're going to have to make decisions as a young man or young lady in who and what you are and what are you going to stand for, and understand there's levels of influence in culture that you have. We discussed this week also about protests and what is a protest, and when does a protest become violent? Because we're talking about culture, what's happening in these cities, and when we lock our arms across a road and we think that's a peaceful protest, but in actuality, we're stopping somebody from getting to work, we're stopping somebody from possibly needing help, whatever the case is, but we made a conscious decision that we thought was a protest, but ended up being something that we didn't intend to do. So we started talking about what we believe to be true. And in fact, let me just read you real quickly what we talked about. In the book that you are getting, or that you already have, we turn our attention to the needs of the world around us, and we ask whether what Bible actually says. And does it matter? Is it relevant today as it was thousands of years ago? What do we ought to do about it? This book is an invitation to stop for us to quit playing God and using our opinions to make decisions, and start using the Bible to make the decisions. To start engaging the world around us based on what God says versus what we think as an opinion. And that's what's happening today a lot with Antifa and some of these groups that are out there. They're not biblically based. You have made a decision to be a Christian. Maybe you haven't yet, but somebody in your family wanted you here at Eagles View. So the point as a Christian teacher, as a Christian man, that I have to have every morning knowledge of how to react to this. Am I to gather my arms and my pistols and react? Or am I to trust in God? And we're to look in the Bible and find our answer. See, we all live based on what we believe to be true. Christians must act on biblical ideas, not just in our personal conduct, but also in the big issues of our day, such as life, marriage, military force, whatever career you take, our economy, when you go to work, and justice. The question is, biblical ideas, are they still relevant? Can we or should we apply the biblical teachings at a cultural level? So, what is the culture that you have? I asked you today to do a question and tell me a decision you made, a decision that was a good decision, and what it was and how it influenced others. How many levels did it influence? Was it just yourself, your friend, your mom? And understand, was it something that got deeper? And when I comment and say that they're shallow doesn't mean, what I mean by that is that the level is not many. Okay, it may be just one person, but you got to be thinking about, one of the examples one of the kids gave us in class today was awesome. He helped a lady at the grocery store. But what he didn't realize is that other people were watching him. And one good turn sometimes inspires another person to do something good. So it was a positive influence on our culture. And it was something that not only the lady appreciated, but he's doing what he's supposed to do. And that's helping somebody. So we started out and we shared ideas. We wrote down what we had done good. There were some great ideas in some of the classes, what had happened. But starting to get you to think. And if you're at home and you haven't been in class yet, I want you to think, what is something, a good decision you made, and if you have to go back several months, that's fine. A good decision you made, and discuss or be able to tell how it influenced others. That may have been only one person, and I doubt if it's hitting the world yet, but that's what culture does. It influences people around the world. That's how we're looking at it. So, to wrap this up, what I want you to do tomorrow is that you're going to look and answer some questions. And there's two vocab words I really want you to focus on. The first one is metaphysics. What does metaphysics mean? What is the definition of it? Look it up. I want you to read it. It's in your book too. Also, where is the origin of that word? Where did that word come from? Metaphysics. Secondly, the identity. Who are we? And how does that relate to metaphysics? The meaning of the word, obviously, is the obvious. I want to know what it means. Um, and then, how does metaphysics relate to us mortality wise? How should we live? Are there rules for a good life? Um, what makes them? And the last one is, okay, the destiny. What happens next? So, with metaphysics, once you look it up, we're going to discuss it more on tomorrow's class. But I want you to be able to identify that word and work on those 5 questions: the origin, the identity, the meaning, the mortality of it, and the morality of it. Excuse me, not mortality, morality. If I said mortality, that was a different class we were talking about, morality. And then lastly, the destiny of what we're looking to do. Um, the second word I want you to look up is excuse me, anthropic principle. Anthro means pertaining to humanity. Long day today. All right, first day, Tuesday. I'm worn out, but I am excited about this class, and I want you to look up the word, and I want you to find out what it means. And I'll give you a clue. It has something to do with the proof of creation. And I want you to look it up, and I want you to be able to discuss it when we meet. But those are a couple of words. There's 3 other vocab words that I want to discuss you to learn, but those were the 2 big ones. The last couple that I want you to look up for culture here, at least in where we're at, is fundamentalism, evangelism, and fundamentalism. And the last one is the moral majority. 5 words, okay? Metaphysics, the evangelism, fundamentalism, moral majority, and the butchering this word, anthropic principle, anthropic principle. Yeah, long one. Sorry about that, guys. But those are the 5 words. I want you to look them up, and we'll discuss them more in tomorrow's lesson as well. Hope all's going well. It's a good start. For those of you who don't have books, some of this you can look up and look up the meaning through other means. And a lot of it is about just what you're thinking and how it relates to you. All right, this is Coach Frank. Hope you have a blessed day, and we'll talk to you soon.